is Timothée Chalamet. Hi, Timothy. You were great as Timothée Chalamet this year, too. Really. Kylie.
I don't know how to get this up. All right, well, thank you. I was not expecting this at all.
What if Kylie Jenner didn't get dumped, but needed you to think she did? Just days after rumors exploded that Timothée Chalamet ended things with Kylie, her team rushed to rewrite the headlines, fast. But here's the twist. This isn't just a messy breakup story. It's a carefully choreographed game, one that involves secret dates, silent power moves, and a media war you were never supposed to notice. Because when Hollywood's most unpredictable woman pairs up with one of its most private men, someone's hiding something. This wasn't just surprising, it was weird. The kind of weird that stops you mid-scroll and makes you say, wait, what? Because Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet, that's not a couple, it's a plot twist.
Kylie Jenner is allegedly dating Timothée Chalamet and the internet has gone wild. Now, if this is true, I'm really worried for...
On one side, you've got Kylie, cosmetics queen, reality TV legacy, billionaire, and lightning rod for drama. Her relationships are usually loud, messy, and very public. Tyga, Travis Scott. You don't just date Kylie, you become part of the Kardashian-Jenner media machine, whether you're ready for it or not. On the other side, Timothée, the complete opposite. A soft-spoken, artsy actor who built his career on quiet intensity and indie film cred. He's known for playing sensitive, brooding characters, not popping up in paparazzi shots outside Nobu. He does press tours in Paris, not promo videos for Kylie Cosmetics. So when whispers started surfacing in early 2023...
What do you think Kylie calls him? Because it can't be Timothée. Timmy? Tim? Little T? Big T.
Tiny clues, random sightings, anonymous tips. The internet didn't even know how to react. Most people just laughed it off. Kylie and Timmy? No way. Two people from such completely different worlds couldn't possibly work. It didn't make sense. But Hollywood never plays by the rules. It started with a laugh, literally. One clip, just a few seconds long, of Kylie and Timothée sharing a moment at a fashion show. No PDA, no big gestures, just laughter. And yet, it sparked something, a ripple of curiosity. Was it nothing or something? Next, both of them showed up at the Vanity Fair Oscars after party. Again, no photos together, no red carpet debut. But they were there, in the same place, at the same time.
Kylie Jenner, y'all, should I try her new fragrance? I mean, these look very promising. And
And the people who watch celebrity movements like it's a full-time job, they noticed. Then came the cars. First, Kylie's black Range Rover was spotted outside Timothée's Beverly Hills home. Not once, multiple times. Then Timothée was seen getting into one of Kylie's vehicles. Internet detectives lost their minds, comparing rims, paint jobs, and driveway layouts like they were solving a crime. Every pixel was evidence. The media stayed quiet at first. But the gossip pages? They were buzzing. Tipsters claimed the two had been seeing each other since January. Others said they were spotted grabbing tacos together. Alone, no entourage. Low-key, almost too low-key. And that's when it hit people. This wasn't random.
Wondering how Kylie and Timothée are doing 2 years into their relationship while balancing super busy schedules, a source tells people they are making it work.
This wasn't some one-night tabloid scandal or a chaotic rebound. This was quiet, calculated, controlled. The kind of secrecy that doesn't scream fling. It whispers something serious. Or worse, something strategic. Because if Kylie was trying to keep it under wraps, she was doing a terrible job. And if Timothée was trying to stay out of the headlines, why choose her? It felt like both of them knew exactly what they were doing. Just enough exposure to spark curiosity, but never enough to confirm anything. Like a slow burn designed to keep people watching, guessing, obsessing. And it worked. For weeks, fans debated whether it was real.
I'm just confused how we've been sleeping on this man for so long. Finally, our Jewish king, Timothée Chalamet, is getting his star.
Whether it made sense, whether this was a PR move or an actual relationship. But the more they tried to figure it out, the more confusing it got. They weren't seen together in public. They weren't confirming anything. And yet, the rumors kept growing. Because this wasn't a typical Hollywood couple rollout. This was something else. A billionaire beauty mogul with a chaotic dating history. A critically acclaimed actor who avoids mess at all costs. No shared projects. No red carpet moments. No obvious reason to even be in the same room. But here they were, quietly orbiting each other, leaving just enough breadcrumbs for the world to follow. And if you think that's where the story ends,
well, what do you know? Timothée Chalamet traipsing around Saint-Tropez, his cultural succubus of a love interest in...
You haven't been paying attention. Because what came next would turn this odd pairing into a full-blown media chess match, and someone was about to make their first major move. By the time Kylie's Range Rover was spotted outside Timothée's gated Beverly Hills home, the internet had already split into two camps. Those convinced the rumors were fake, and those convinced this was the beginning of Hollywood's weirdest love story. But neither side was ready for what came next. Because just days later, another one of Kylie's cars, a matte black SUV this time, was seen leaving the same house. Behind it, Timothée following in his own vehicle. Paparazzi didn't catch their faces. They didn't need to.
Timothée Chalamet at 25 is one of the highest paid young actors around. He's worth $10 million personally. And his career started small, where in 2009 he made...
Fans had already reverse-engineered Kylie's entire car collection. The license plates matched, the rims matched, even the dirt on the bumper matched. Then came the taco date. According to insiders, the two had a low-key night at Tito's Tacos in Santa Monica. No paparazzi, no bodyguards, just them in the backseat of her car, eating takeout like two normal people. If normal included millions of followers tracking your every move and comparing the interior of your vehicle to Instagram stories from 6 months ago. But here's the twist. None of this felt accidental. Every sighting was just enough to stir buzz, never enough to confirm anything. A laugh here, a blurry photo there.
PR relationships, I think that's what they call it. Do you think that that happens a lot, or do people over-assume that?
Not a single quote from Kylie, not a peep from Timothée, and yet the coverage was everywhere. Entertainment blogs, fan pages, blind item accounts. The story was writing itself without either of them saying a word. And right when it felt like the world was ready for confirmation, silence. No public appearance, no joint red carpet, not even a cryptic Instagram post. Instead, the speculation exploded. Was Kylie hiding him from the cameras? Was Timothée worried about his image? Or were they both playing the long game, letting the mystery do the work? And it was working. Every tabloid headline, every TikTok theory, every whispered rumor just made people want to know more.
Okay, you guys, yes, I did mean Pauline Chalamet. Real ones know where this picture's from.
Because if this was real, why were they hiding? And if it wasn't real, why was it being staged so perfectly? Whatever it wasn't random anymore. It was deliberate. Every move they made or didn't make kept the spotlight exactly where they wanted it, on them. But behind the scenes, things were moving faster than anyone realized. Because when the families got involved, this casual fling suddenly didn't look so casual anymore. Up to this point, the whole thing felt like a maybe, maybe not kind of situation. Secret meetups, unconfirmed rumors. Just enough noise to keep people talking, but still deniable. But then the families got involved, and that changed everything.
Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet have reportedly met each other's families now. I'm sick of shit, but news don't stop. These photos are reportedly...
Kylie was spotted hanging out with Timothée's sister, Pauline Chalamet. Not in passing, not in some industry event. They were seen together, intentionally, at Timothée's house, smiling, talking, comfortable. At the same time, Kendall Jenner, Kylie's older sister and notoriously picky about who enters the Kardashian inner circle, was also there. That's not a casual hangout. That's not just getting to know each other. That's family integration. That's real. And just like that, the tone shifted. This wasn't a fling anymore. This wasn't about tacos and TMZ. This was about trust, approval, and very possibly strategy. Because here's the thing. When it comes to the Kardashian-Jenner clan, nothing happens without a reason.
Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet spending 4th of July weekend together in Saint Tropez. They're having a little...
If Kendall's showing up and Kylie's cozying up to Timothy's family, someone somewhere signed off on it. And in Hollywood, family involvement means one of two things. Either this was getting serious, or it was about to get very public. But it wasn't just about who was meeting whom. It was about how fast it was all happening. These weren't people who ease into relationships. These were megastars, moving at lightning speed, and somehow still trying to play it like it was no big deal, except it was a big deal. Because when you start introducing families, you're not just dating someone. You're merging two brands, two legacies, two sets of headlines. And the internet noticed. Comments started flying. Wait, why is Kylie meeting Timmy's sister already?
Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet are still going strong as TMZ released a behind-the-scenes video from a complete unknown premiere where they were there.
Is this a PR stunt? Or are they actually in love? Some fans were buying it, others were skeptical. But one thing was clear. This wasn't staying underground much longer. The couple who claimed they wanted privacy were now fueling a wildfire of speculation by letting their families join the plot. It didn't make sense. Unless this relationship wasn't about secrecy at all, but about control, and things were about to spin out of it. Just when it seemed like things were heating up between Kylie and Timothée, the story flipped. Hard. Out of nowhere, Life and Style dropped a headline that sent the internet into overdrive. Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet have called it quits.
Timothée Chalamet allegedly uses Kylie Jenner for the hookups and the money, and whenever he gets the chance to, he will...
According to sources, the relationship had fizzled out naturally. Busy schedules, too much travel, nothing dramatic, just the slow fade of a whirlwind romance. But here's where it gets weird. Within hours of that story breaking, a flood of counter stories started popping up like wildfire. TMZ was suddenly hearing from sources that the breakup was completely false. Not only were Kylie and Timothée still together, but things were reportedly great. Multiple insiders were quoted, doubling down on the narrative that nothing had changed. Everything is cool between them, they insisted. Don't believe the rumors. That fast reaction, that level of urgency, it didn't feel casual. It felt coordinated.
Club Chalamet is crying at the club right now. I just know they're absolutely losing it on...
Almost like someone had pressed the panic button behind the scenes. Almost like someone was terrified of the world believing Kylie got dumped. Because let's be honest, Kylie Jenner getting dumped, that's not just tabloid bait. That's a headline that sticks. That's a meme waiting to happen. And for someone with a carefully curated image, it's a storyline that needs to be shut down fast. And it was. Within 24 hours, outlets that had reported the breakup were backpedaling. New insiders emerged, claiming that while Kylie and Timothée hadn't been seen together recently, that didn't mean anything. They were just keeping things private. Nothing to see here. Move along.
Let's talk about the PR theory between these two. This is solely for educational purposes, no hate to anyone involved. Don't forget to check out my Depop.
But the speed of the response told a different story. It wasn't just about setting the record straight. It was about controlling the narrative before it spiraled. And that raised a new question. Why did this breakup rumor matter so much? If they weren't serious, who cares? If they wanted privacy, why correct it publicly? And if there was nothing to hide, why did it suddenly feel like something was being hidden? Because either someone leaked a breakup before it was official, or someone was trying very hard to pretend everything was fine. But no matter how fast the headlines were rewritten, one thing was clear. Someone behind the scenes was scrambling. And it wasn't just about romance. It was about reputation.
Okay, you guys, I feel like we have a lot to talk about. So last night, Kylie walked the Caprini show, and
at first, the Kylie and Timothée situation seemed almost charming, unexpected, weirdly adorable, even kind of wholesome. But that illusion didn't last long, because as soon as breakup rumors started swirling, something odd happened. something very un-Kylie. Instead of brushing it off, ignoring the noise, or staying mysterious like they had for months, her team, and let's be real, we're talking Kris Jenner here, launched into full-on damage control mode. Within hours, TMZ was running interference. False, not broken up, still together. Multiple sources confirmed they wanted the world to know this relationship was still happening, even though they'd spent months pretending it wasn't.
Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner. Timmy. Him and Kylie Jenner were seen.
That kind of urgency? That doesn't come from a casual fling. That's not a reaction to a silly rumor. That's a media response written with intention, with stakes. So what were those stakes? Let's look at Timothée for a second. He's not your typical Hollywood actor. He's selective, choosy, the kind of guy who does films with Luca, not Instagram skits. His fan base, diehard and deeply protective. They see him as above the noise, artistic, private, serious. But that version of Timothée is about to step into a very different spotlight. Because next up on his slate is Wonka, a huge studio movie. Family-friendly, mainstream, a complete image shift.
Kylie Chalamet cannot stand Kylie Jenner. There has been a major fallout between the Chalamet siblings, and I'm here to...
And right before promo season begins, he's tangled up with Kylie Jenner. To some people, that felt like career sabotage. To others, it felt strategic. Think about it. Being linked to Kylie Jenner guarantees headlines, visibility, buzz. And when your next project is a major commercial movie, that kind of exposure could be helpful. So the rumors started, was Timothée using Kylie? Not for love, not for fun, but for reach? It's not a crazy theory. They were never seen on the red carpet. They didn't give interviews. They didn't post couple selfies. The relationship always existed in the margins, just enough to stir interest, never enough to confirm anything. And yet, the timing of the breakup rumor?
Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet's relationship is allegedly a complete sham, and text messages were allegedly leaked between
suspiciously close to Wonka's press ramp-up. But here's where things get tricky. If it was just PR, Kylie didn't seem to know it, because she went all in. Meeting his family, introducing him to hers, staying at his place nearly every day. This wasn't a staged coffee run with paparazzi. This was full-blown domestic vibes. So when whispers surfaced that Timothée might have gotten what he needed and bailed, Kylie's camp flipped the switch. The urgency behind those still-together headlines wasn't just about keeping a love story alive. It was about protecting her image. Because if the narrative became Timmy dumped Kylie after using her for press, it would be devastating, not just personally, but publicly.
The fake relationships are shaking, and I'm tired of living a lie with you, Kylie Jenner. Shout out to my best friend, Josh.
That's not a storyline Kylie can afford. Not after Travis, not with 2 kids, not with the internet watching her every move. But here's where the contradictions start piling up. Kylie and Timothée want to be private? Fine. But then why bother correcting breakup rumors? Why activate the TMZ machine? Why care? The truth is, it's not really about privacy. It's about narrative control. It's about shaping what the public sees, even when you're pretending not to care what the public sees. It's about managing perception, because perception is power. And in Hollywood, perception is everything. So maybe this relationship isn't about romance at all. Maybe it never was. Maybe it's a deal, a silent agreement, a mutual understanding that goes something like,
Big T. T. Just T. Personally, I find that least offensive. What about you?
You boost my profile, I protect your image, we don't do drama, we don't do PDA, we just do headlines. It's polished, it's quiet, and it's starting to crack. Because no matter how hard they try to keep the story neat, real life doesn't play by PR rules. And someone else in Kylie's orbit was about to make that crystal clear. You can't talk about Kylie Jenner's love life without talking about Travis Scott. Because no matter how many new relationships she steps into, he's always in the background. And not just as her ex, as the father of her 2 children, as her most high-profile partner. as the man whose public downfall still lingers like smoke around her brand.
I feel like Kylie and Timothée are getting like pretty serious. Like, is Pauline invited to Kardashian Christmas Eve? Are these gals hanging in?
Travis and Kylie officially called it quits in January 2023, but their story didn't end there. It never really ends when there are kids involved, and especially not when one half of the relationship is Kylie Jenner. From the outside, it looked like they were co-parenting peacefully. Separate lives, joint custody, no drama, but insiders painted a very different picture. According to reports, Travis wasn't exactly thrilled about Kylie moving on, especially with someone like Timothée. Not because Timmy posed a threat, but because he represented something Travis never did: stability, softness, public approval.
And the bottle? I'm not gonna lie, the bottle looks good. Tell me it doesn't look good. I'm even scared to ask, but yay, nay, maybe.
Timothée was everything Travis wasn't. Clean-cut, calm, adored by the industry. No legal baggage, no festival tragedies, no history of chaos. And for someone like Kylie trying to rebuild her image post-Astroworld, that kind of contrast mattered. And Travis? He noticed. Sources claimed he was not happy about the new relationship, that he was keeping things cordial for the kids, but behind the scenes, there was tension, not jealousy, control. Because for the first time, Kylie was seeing someone who wasn't drawn into her world by force, but by choice. And that shift, from chaos to calm, exposed a truth Travis probably didn't want to face.
Went to Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's wedding solo. The source said they hadn't seen each other since before the wedding, so Kylie was really excited when he...
Because Timothée wasn't just a new boyfriend. He was a public reset button. A way for Kylie to say, I'm not the girl from the Tyga days. I'm not the woman from the Astroworld headlines. I'm something else now. More refined, more serious, more in control, and that made things complicated. Because if Travis still had any hope of rekindling things, that door was closing. If he still saw himself as the one Kylie would always come back to, that illusion was breaking. And if he thought the public would always see him as part of her story, Timothée's quiet presence was changing the narrative. But here's the thing. No matter how clean Timothée looked on paper, no matter how curated Kylie's new romance appeared to be,
it was revolutionary. He was just like so yummy in it. From an acting perspective, I think Dune is where he started.
You can't outrun your past, especially not one that involves a stadium tragedy, millions in lawsuits, and a global backlash that never fully faded. Because Travis isn't just Kylie's ex. He's the reminder of everything she'd rather the world forget. And no matter how far she moves, no matter how much she tries to rebrand herself, that reminder is always just one headline away from pulling her back in. And maybe that's why the most shocking part of this story isn't what we've seen, but what they've kept hidden. Let's stop pretending this was ever a love story. Because if you step back and actually look at the timeline, the sudden shift from Travis to Timothée
into the Kardashian clan and leave on a good note. So Timmy, we love you, but please proceed with caution. Live your best life.
The secret dates, the selective leaks, the media cleanups, it starts to feel less like a romance and more like a strategy. So here's the theory. This relationship wasn't about falling in love. It was about rewriting the script. Kylie's image was in trouble. After Astroworld, after the silence, after standing next to a man blamed for a mass casualty event, without ever making a public statement, she wasn't just another influencer anymore. She was the woman who stayed quiet while people buried their children. And whether she wanted to face it or not, that shadow was following her. She needed a reset, not a rebrand, an erasure. Someone who could stand next to her and make the public forget.
While there is no doubting the clout of your acting chops, demographically guaranteed to win an Oscar, question for me is what kind of bitch you want.
Someone who would never be associated with lawsuits, rage culture, or dead-eyed PR apologies. She didn't need another headline. She needed an alibi. And who better than Timothée Chalamet? Beloved by critics, untouched by scandal, just artsy enough to make her look elevated, but mainstream enough to not feel fake. A man with real acting chops, a fan base that idolizes his purity, and a clean enough track record to make people stop talking about Travis. From that angle, everything starts to make sense. The secrecy, the selective leaks, the taco date, the Range Rover, the lack of PDA. They weren't hiding the relationship, they were staging it, one breadcrumb at a time. Each move was intentional.
14, he'd finally make his way to the big screen doing 3 major movies, with one of them being Interstellar. And while those were big movies, he did have smaller parts in them.
Just enough to make it real, but never enough to make it vulnerable. A slow drip of are they or aren't they tension to keep people distracted from what no one wanted to talk about anymore. The bodies, the lawsuits, the silence. And it worked, at least for a while. People stopped asking about Astroworld. They stopped criticizing her silence. They started focusing on the cars, the tacos, the weirdness of the pairing. The internet didn't just move on, they moved with her. But here's the danger of constructing a relationship out of narrative control. Eventually, real life gets messy, and that's when the cracks started to show. Rumors of a breakup, whispers that Timothée was never serious.
That excuse if they don't like a celebrity couple, it's just PR. Like, everyone would say that about Timothée Chalamet and Kylie Jenner.
Blind items about a one-night thing that somehow spiraled into headlines. Allegations that he was using her for buzz around Wonka. Speculation that Kylie got blindsided. Suddenly, the story stopped looking like a power couple and started looking like a cover-up. And if that's true, if this was never about romance but about image protection, then the whole thing wasn't just calculated, it was desperate. Because no one stages a fake relationship unless they're trying to bury something real. And yet, the most confusing part is this. If they truly wanted privacy, why are they working so hard to keep the lie alive? After all the rumors, sightings, corrections, and contradictions.
Too. So they've had like a friendship for a while. But like they were all...
We're left with one question. What is this relationship? Because on the surface, it's simple. 2 celebrities dating. A little mystery, a few blurry photos, some insider quotes. But the deeper you look, the less sense it makes. They say they want privacy, yet they run to TMZ every time a breakup story drops. They don't post together, yet their teams scramble to correct the narrative the second it slips. They claim it's casual, yet families are meeting, tabloids are reporting, and sources are practically begging us to know they're still together. It's like watching 2 people who desperately want the world to know. They don't want the world to know. A relationship that's private, but only on their terms. Hidden, but still headline-worthy.
But I feel like the house photos should be off limits. Like, give them some sort of space, but yet here.
Quiet, but conveniently visible just often enough to keep the speculation alive. And that's the real game, isn't it? Because in a media landscape built on mystery, ambiguity is currency. The moment you confirm something, the story ends. But if you keep it in the shadows, if you dangle just enough to keep people guessing, you don't just stay relevant, you stay powerful. And that's exactly what this feels like. A relationship designed not to be loved, but to be talked about. Maybe it started real and turned into a PR tool. Maybe it was engineered from day one, or maybe, just maybe, it's both. A strange blend of personal chemistry and public manipulation. A connection that feels authentic enough to believe.
They've been together for so long, like, honestly has shocked me to my core. So I think something like big could happen with them in 2025.
But staged just enough to question. Because in the world of celebrity, reality doesn't matter as much as perception. And when your empire is built on attention, the line between truth and illusion isn't just blurred, it's profitable. So are Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet actually together? Did they ever really break up? Was any of it real? That depends on what you're watching for, love or strategy. Because in Hollywood, nothing is random. And the moment you start asking questions, you're already part of the plan. So maybe this wasn't a love story. Maybe it was something stranger, something smarter, a carefully crafted illusion, built for attention, controlled from the shadows, and designed to keep us guessing.
The hookups and the money. I have said that for ages, and when he finds the chance to hook up with someone else, he does. And again,
whether Kylie and Timothée are soulmates, collaborators, or just two celebrities caught in the same PR current, the real story isn't about who's dating who. It's about who gets to tell the story first. Because in a world where headlines move faster than facts and perception is reality, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. What do you think? Real romance or just another Hollywood illusion? Drop your take in the comments, and if you want more deep dives like this one, you know what to do.